Hello Titans, welcome to CSUF News. I'm Guillermo Mendez.
And I'm Nicole Panissidi. At the top of the hour tonight, we have the general election this November. While there are 17 propositions for California as a whole, individual cities have extra propositions as well.
That's right, we sent a reporter Jason Rockland to Anaheim City Hall to find out more about Ballot Measure U.
Anaheim Ballot Measure U will be voted on in November's general election. If passed, the measure will make it harder for the Anaheim City Council to pass new taxes.
I think that's a good idea. I think any time that we can get government to have to stop and actually think about raising taxes, I think that's better.
The measure, also called the Anaheim Taxpayer Protection Act, was introduced by Councilmember Chris Murray, who hoped to close a loophole in Proposition 62.
It's not that I love taxes. I actually don't like taxes. But I think it does a disservice to the citizens to constrain their lawmakers who they've elected.
Proposition 62, passed in 1986, affects the ability of city councils in California to get new or higher general taxes on their local ballots. The loophole in this proposition excludes charter cities like Anaheim.
If it's statewide, it's the same thing, then I don't see why we should be different about it.
Anaheim Mayor Tom Tate and Councilmember Jordan Brandman initially voted against getting Measure U on the November ballot. According to an OC Register article from 2015, Mayor Tate believed increasing the threshold for council approval would affect Anaheim's credit rating.
Would it affect the credit rating for the city? In some ways, yeah. Credit ratings are very complex, though. It's not like one specific thing is going to cause an outcome.
The Public Financial Management Incorporated report commissioned by the city found there would likely not be any effect.
Every time that citizens pass a law that restrains legislators of any kind from doing their job, makes it more difficult for them to do their job.
If the ballot measure passes, it will change the requirements to pass taxes from a simple majority to a 2/3 vote. At Anaheim City Hall, this is Jason Rockland, CSUF News.
Thanks Jason. Now I feel like maybe I should look a little more into the Fullerton specific propositions before the election.
I know what you mean. The election isn't the only thing keeping students abuzz on campus, however. Sexual assaults continue to be a problem across college campuses. The campus police department at CSUF is taking measures into their own hands to prevent these crimes. Maria Valdez talked to Captain Scot Wiley about the issue.
With sexual assaults being such a hot topic in the news, today we are here on campus at Cal State Fullerton, investigating to see how Cal State Fullerton responds to sexual assaults on campus. Scot Wiley, a captain at Cal State Fullerton, shared how the campus handles sexual assaults.
Receive a report of sexual assault, we can get that by many different means. So sometimes those come to us anonymously. Sometimes they come directly to the police department. Sometimes they're reported to other police departments or places that are outside the campus. And so we'll try to make contact if they want to contact the police department, or we'll make sure that they get all the resources that they need.
The campus offers several different resources for sexual assault victims.
So we have a crime prevention officer that goes out and does a lot of talks and presentations. He talks about sexual assault and preventative measures and how we interact with our public and our community in those matters. We have a rape aggression defense class that we teach.
Here are the steps victims should follow.
We want survivors of sexual assault to do is to talk to somebody. So there are some people that are not comfortable coming forward to a police department, and we totally understand that, but we want them to tell somebody because that's really what they need. They need to get some counseling and then know what services are available to them. So they can talk to anybody on campus, and they're all CSAs, which are our campus safety advisors. And that means that they have to come and tell us that a sexual assault has occurred, but they can do that anonymously.
If you ever find yourself a victim of sexual assaults, please report to campus police or one of the many various sources available to Cal State Fullerton students. Reporting for Comm 202, Maria Valdez.
Thank you, Maria. It's good to know that campus police are taking all the right measures to ensure safety. Now, on to another topic. Hey, Nicole, would you be ready if a big earthquake hit right now?
Not really. Why do you ask?
Well, with most of California sitting on the San Andreas Fault, there's always the possibility of a major earthquake on the horizon. Roberto Muniz has some tips on how to better prepare just in case.
Cal State Fullerton students live in an earthquake-prone state, and the risk of an earthquake occurring is out there every day.
California is expecting the big one, so next time you drop cover and hold on under the table, be prepared. Here are some tips from students and experts on how you could be prepared for an earthquake.
Just kind of always have like food, like non-perishables and stuff like that, and then always have water, and just have a quickest like a route or a place to go, or like kind of have just a set plan.
I was talking to my friends about it last week, and we're just talking about having cases of water and cans of food, you know, as storage if anything ever does happen.
Fullerton Fire Captain Pete Gray explains how he prepares at his home.
In my home, what we carry is enough for 2 days worth of water. Any medications that you'll need, you need at least 2 weeks worth, and you also need enough food and canned food for that 2-week time frame also.
Susan Fisher, the emergency management coordinator at Cal State Fullerton, explains how it's never too early to start preparing for an earthquake.
Any kind of awareness, however much you start, if you start with a little bag in your apartment, you start with a bag in your car, that just means that those are reminders that, gee, maybe I should look in that bag, maybe I should make sure that the things that are really important to me to help me survive are actually there when I need them. So wherever you can start, that's the biggest thing.
Earthquakes are unpredictable, so don't let one catch you off guard and be prepared with at least some water and snacks. At Cal State Fullerton, Roberto Muniz.
The city of Tustin has recently seen a rise in its homeless population. Janae Jensen went to Tustin to canvass the city and get a better idea of the problem at large.
The city of Tustin has seen a recent increase in its homeless population.
Yeah, I was ill for a couple of 3 years, and my finances didn't look good. Had to give up the house.
I'm praying fear.
Tim Scot, the library branch manager, says the library sees members of the homeless population every day.
What has changed is the type of person that's coming. So we've seen more people coming from out of the area.
City manager Jeff Parker also believes many of our homeless have been coming from out of town.
We have seen an increase lately. Santa Ana over by the courthouse closed down the county and started to see some of those migrate over.
Community Impact Officer for the Tustin Police, Melissa Tran, believes Prop 47, which was passed 2 years ago in 2014, may be having an impact.
There was a law passed saying, you know, we want to keep our violent offenders in prison, and they released a lot of people who weren't meeting that criteria, and those people are what we're seeing as a lot of the homeless now.
Because more homeless are on the street and a few more are coming to Tustin, we are seeing more homeless people in our public areas.
I'm standing here at the Tustin Library courtyard, where they have removed all the tables and benches and erected this fence, it looks like, to keep the homeless from camping on the grounds.
It is true that there were homeless that were sleeping here over the summer, and there's the police said anywhere from 20 to 24 people a night.
We've been working on a maintenance effort for the courtyard. We have, it's only for 30 days, hopefully.
John Radko, a local homeless man, saw the courtyard the way it was before renovations began.
The library facility were abused, especially restrooms. Many restrooms ended up being basically useless. There were a number of benches somebody could put a blanket on and sleep on. Whatever led to the fence, it definitely made the homeless disappear.
Well, I think that anytime you do what we are doing right now, and there are homeless people that are there some of the time, then that's going to move them. And that's all it's going to do. It's going to move them from here over to here. It's not resolving the issue.
The city of Tustin, as well as the police, are working hard to make sure the homeless know and use what resources they make for them.
So what I do, I make contact, I get to know the people, find out what their story is, why they're homeless, and then see what I can do to assist them to get them back into housing. We do have shelter here in Tustin. What I find though, I offer these things to people and I get excuses. I get, oh, well, I don't want to share a room. A lot of it is mental health issues. They're choosing to live on the street, and you know, it just becomes frustrating. I'm like, gosh, I could get you off the street today.
Tustin is working on its growing homeless population problem, but it is an issue that is bigger than our county. I'm Janae Jensen, reporting for CSUF News.
Don't touch that remote. When we come back, we'll be looking into millennials and how they spend their money.
Weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
Welcome back to CSUF News.
For our last story, we have Naomi Osuna here in the studio to talk a little bit about something very important to students, money. How are you, Naomi?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me in today.
So Naomi, regarding millennials and money, what were some of your findings?
Well, our reporter, Estrella Monreal, went out recently to interview CSUF students and found out that there are mainly 3 things that students focus on when spending money. Let's have a look.
The millennial generation is more interested on spending their money on experiences over shopping.
I think millennials do spend money on experiences rather than, oh wow, look at these new pair of shoes or those Yeezys. Like, it's rather just like, oh, instead of that, let's go to the Kanye concert.
Seniors Rudy and Gladys also prefer to spend their money on experiences like traveling abroad.
I like traveling a lot. It changes you, it teaches you a lot of things. It helps you grow up a lot, and I would want to travel to every country in the world if I can.
I went to 17 countries, exposing myself to different countries, and you know, being out there on my own really made me trust not only the people around me, but definitely the person inside of me.
According to Forbes, 78% of millennials would rather spend their money on experiences or an event instead of spending it on something desirable.
If I have the opportunity to get away to Palm Springs or any other local areas here in California, I like to explore, so I spend my money there. I haven't bought myself anything in a very long time as far as clothing or shoes.
And there you have it. We prefer to spend our money on food, traveling, and paying bills. Reporting from Cal State University of Fullerton, this is Estrella Monreal for CSUF News.
And that's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning into CSUF News. I'm Guillermo Mendez.
And I'm Nicole Panissidi. Have a great day, Titans.
What are you doing for break?
I'm going to Disney. My birthday's on Thursday.
What?
Yeah.